Hello. All right. Is your mic working?
Yeah, my mic's working.
Hello. My name is Anthony.
And my name's Brandon.
Yes, and welcome to WICR. Anthony and Brendan. We title is in work in progress. I was actually this is actually my second time here. The last time you guys saw me here. I was a guest on my friend Riley's show. So now this year it's my own show.
And I'm here apparently too.
Yes, I did not force him.
He kind of did.
Kind of.
Kind of.
All right. So before we went live, you said you want to talk about Iona's Six Flags trip.
Yeah, because we both went on that, and my God, you had a lot to learn about that.
Yes, that was thank you, AJ. That was actually my first time at Six Flags, and the only other theme park I've been to was Playland, and Six Flags was a whole new experience for me.
Oh yeah, I did try to murder you on that trip.
Yes,
I'm being honest with you.
Like how many times? Like 5 or 6.
Closer to 8 or 9. Look, I'm a big roller coaster person personally myself, so I've been to like a lot of theme parks. I've been to like this Great Adventure one, New England, Busch Gardens in Virginia. I've been to a lot of different places. The second I heard you only been to Playland, I was like, oh, we are going to have some fun.
We mostly went on the DC Comics themed rides,
which makes up half of the rides there.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what this relationship is there, but whatever.
So what was what was the first ride we went on?
Oh, that was Nitro.
That was so we went on Nitro. Then the Dark Knight, which was honestly kind of disappointing. Like I feel like they could have done so much better with that.
Keep in mind, it's also a couple of years old, and they haven't like updated the whole thing yet. And also, it's a mousetrap roller coaster, which obviously you don't know. I know this stuff more personally myself because I'm more interested in roller coasters and whatnot. And you've only been to Playland, which is really sad. You have lost your childhood.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Let's see. We went on the other Batman ride, which was more fun.
Yeah, and that was your first time going on a loop-de-loop or an inversion or anything like that, which I was just that way up that roller coaster. I just started hysterically laughing.
I saw you laughing.
Yeah, no, I was legit trying to kill you that day. I'm being completely honest with you now. It's over, so I can say it.
Yes. And also, I liked how like in line, like we saw that they had a case of a glass case of one of the Batman suits, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I know that's nice because obviously, like with those longer lines, you need sometimes things to distract yourself. Which is why sometimes in some of those rides they had like those comic book things in order to give more information about stuff and whatnot, or just things to distract you. Because let's be real here, it's like we went during September, like during the start of Fright Night, which usually no one's there because school's starting up again, and all the kids are back at school and everyone's going back to work and whatnot. Think about that in July when the lines are 2 hours long. You need something to keep people from getting bored. So that's
See, then what was the next ride we went on?
Oh, I took you to Skull Mountain.
Then
I don't remember the rides. I pretty much took you on every single ride except for King Ka.
I remember Bizarro, which was fun. Like I liked how like the mist and the flames came out.
Oh yeah, I had to point that out to you, and the gears turning in your head, I swear to God, that was probably the most amazing moment I've had in my life.
Green Lantern, I was like on okay, so for those who don't know, there's a Green Lantern ride at Six Flags, and basically you have to stand up on this ride, which I was very shocked about because I was thinking, what person like who thought that was a great idea to stand on a roller coaster.
And keep in mind, he was telling me this the entire time. And personally, like, obviously it's doing well because it hasn't closed down yet. But I managed to get us on the front of the line, which I was super excited about. You weren't as excited about it, though.
Let's see. A Joker, like, oh my God, I thought I was going to die.
Oh, yeah. For those of you who haven't been to Six Flags since about 2018, Joker's kind of like this 4D roller coaster ride, which is usually really short, but it starts flipping you like forwards and backwards throughout the ride, and sometimes it inverts you. I haven't been on the ride before then because the last time I went to Six Flags Great Adventure was like in 2017, and the ride wasn't opened yet. There was actually this ride there that I think they removed. It was called Diablo, where it's pretty much just kind of like this circling like roller coaster type of thing, but it's really just on one track, and it was just a big loop-de-loop over and over and over again. That's the last time I was actually at Six Flags Great Adventure, so I wanted to go on Joker.
Yeah.
But the thing is that was interesting because we didn't go on it originally because obviously they had like, okay, you can't bring anything on the ride because we cannot hold it for you. And they pretty much just pointed us to the lockers. Usually this isn't an issue for me because my mom, God bless her soul, she cannot go on any of the rides anymore. So she always holds her stuff and we just run the rides. She seems perfectly fine with it. I could not do that because I did not want to leave you alone. So I literally just got one of those multi-use lockers, which actually wasn't that expensive thinking about it, but whatever. I just kind of like bounced it off multiple rides at that point because they've gotten a lot stricter with that.
Yeah, they did. Also, like, on most of these rides, as you're going up and down, of course, like you won't lose anything, but like I have to wear. I'm a diabetic, and this is a medical ID, which I always have to have on. I actually took this off on most of the rides I went on because on I think it was the first or second ride we went on. This my medical ID almost fell off.
Oh no! I know exactly what ride this is. Let me explain this. So there's this one roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure.
Was that El Toro?
Yeah, that was El Toro.
Yeah.
So basically I put all our stuff in the lockers because obviously we couldn't bring anything on. They were really strict at that. Blah 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 blah. They said don't bring your phone. I had mine in my back pocket the entire time. They don't check pockets, but
I had my phone as well.
Yeah, I know. But you had your medical tags on, and I managed to get us into the back of El Toro. Keep in mind, like for those of you who aren't really into roller coasters, the front's usually more for like the let's say the more scenic view, and the back's usually there for speed and like launching you over the roller coaster. I got us in the back of El Toro, like the second to last row or the third to last row or something. So that first drop, which for those of you who have not been on El Toro, been to Six Flags Great Adventure, go there, please. It's a very, very steep drop.
Yeah.
I love El Toro to death. His medical tag was literally flying off.
Yeah,
so
I was like holding onto the bar and this at the same time.
Yeah, he had one hand on the bar, one hand on his thing, just holding on for dear life. Yeah. It was actually hysterical. I was pretty much laughing the entire time.
I saw that. I was like, this is not funny.
It kind of is if you really think about it that hard.
Also, I just noticed we have one viewer.
Woo!
Yeah. Hopefully someone in the chat opened the snap.
It's probably gonna be posted later on YouTube or something like that. So obviously people can see it later.
Yeah.
But going back to El Toro and whatnot, after that ride, you're like, I almost lost this. Like, keep it in your bag. I have it in storage. We're good. And keep in mind, I love amusement parks and roller coasters and whatnot. So I do all the crazy stuff that you would never ever be able to do, like those slingshot rides and the ride
I was like,
I'm
not doing that.
And the ride that pulls you in the middle of the air and you have to pull the lever to drop. That's scary, but it's a lot of fun. I'm able to do that stuff. You're not.
Yeah.
I can tell you. But then again, I got my comeuppance during Fright Night.
When we went on Joker, I was fun, but I was terrified. I was like, you're going like up and down, and you're going in a loop. And when the ride stopped, my Apple Watch, the heart rate said 54, and then 132. I'm like, okay, so during the ride, did my heart fall out and then was put back in place?
Nah, I just think it broke.
Yeah,
it definitely broke for a second there.
Yeah.
And the heart or the Apple Watch, probably both at that point.
And Superman. Oh my, I don't know how Superman flies. Like I was like, oh, I thought I was gonna fall off. Like, oh my god, I was holding on to dear life.
Yeah, no. For those of you guys who haven't been on Superman's, it's like one of those like roller coasters that kind of straps you in from the chest, but instead it leads you forward. And keep in mind, it straps in your feet as well, so you should be safe. But it kind of gives off the feel that you're flying. And for those people who have never been on one of those rides before, I think that's one of the only ones that actually exists. It is absolutely terrifying the first time you go on, which is why I'm so glad I took Anthony on all these rides because you need to go somewhere else other than Playland.
I actually when we had lunch, I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, well, okay, love her, but I was like, Mom, Playland is a joke compared to Six Flags,
which is true.
Yeah, it's just like she's like, is that what you called me? Like, no.
Yes, it was. Be real here.
Maybe a little bit.
Look, be real here. You know that was the case. You just wanted to say,
Yes.
let's go here more often because
Yes,
I opened an entire new world to you at that
did.
point.
Yeah, but yeah, even though you so yeah, a few hours later, I got a little revenge on you during Fright Night.
Okay, so backstory. I hate everything that's like haunted houses, like scary stuff, whatnot. I'm from Sleepy Hollow, so that's like Halloween capital of the world. You should be fine with this stuff. Nah, I get scared. I get really, really, really scared over the littlest of things. Like things make me jump all the time. But so it was during Fright Night, and there's like these actors that kind of like go around. There's also these haunted houses, but you have to pay to go in there, and I was not paying.
That's so stupid. Like you already bought a ticket and you have to pay again.
Keep in mind, Fright Pass is also the separate thing in of its own. That's not usually in the used market. It's a seasonal thing, so I'm assuming they'll probably milk that out of money or something. There's probably some ways to say we could go during Halloween time or something like that. But I hate getting scared. So there was these like two girls who got scared by this thing, and they were legit running at me, and I kind of jumped, and I just kind of like went, why is it the girls that scare me and not the actors?
And the thing is, I stood there like laughing, like we really scared of that. Like the acting, to me, the acting there is so bad.
But keep in mind also, it's like it's the street actors, and sometimes it's like they choose who they pick and whatnot to actually talk to and whatnot. So, and then obviously the haunted houses might be different, but I was not paying $40 to go into there. Thank you very much.
It cost $40.
It probably cost more, but you were out of money, so I was not going and paying for your ticket.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, and also there were some street actors that had fake chainsaws, and like as I was walking to buy funnel cake, there were like people screaming every time they heard a sound. I'm like, oh my god!
People can jump easily. People are not like you. There's some people who can jump very easily, like myself, and there's some people who can't jump as easily, like you. I hate haunted things. I will do it, but I'll probably be screaming and crying the entire time.
Yeah, yes.
Mostly screaming.
Speaking of horror things, so when we do have a movie night, the girl said no horror movies.
Thank God.
So they kind of saved you.
Yeah. I know you would pick on a movie like my. No. Backstory: my parents, like all the time when I'm home, they pretty much just always like, hey, do you want to watch a horror movie? I'm like, sure. And whenever there's a scary part, or I know there's a scary part coming, I'm like, I'll go to the bathroom right now. Every single time, even when I was younger, I hate getting scared so much.
I kind of got used to horror movies, like Friday the 13th, The Nightmare on Elm Street, It.
Okay, let's be real here. The earlier Friday the 13th and The Nightmare on Elm Street, watching it now, it's actually kind of comical. Like, yeah. I sat through a lot of those like Nightmare on Elm Street movies because there was a marathon going on. I was fine with that. It's the newer horror movies that scare me. It's like all those jump scares and whatnot. No. When
I saw It for the first time, I was like, how is this a horror movie?
I mean, obviously horror and thriller or something like that. But obviously,
to me, it wasn't scary.
Look, it scared me personally. And obviously, you're probably one of those people that's like, it takes a lot to scare you.
Yeah.
And keep in mind also, it's like, there's like a lot of haunted houses that are meant to not really scare you, and there are some to like scare the actual living nightmares out of you. There's actually one called because I'm into this stuff weirdly, even though I will probably never step foot in them. There's one called McKinley Manor or something like that. Oh my god!
Wait, was that building we saw at Six Flags?
No. It is this very, very, very extreme haunted house, which borderlines on like torture. Which pretty much like there's a wait list to go on there, and it's like a long time in advance. I would never ever do that for the life because there's no safe word. It's pretty much just like mental torture. No, and there's some that are also like very extreme. There's like pre-positioned sets, and there's some you have to literally sign waivers for.
Really?
Yes. Wow. I need to show you these later. It's actually insane. Then there's also like some stuff like haunted houses, whatnot. I get scared very easily, so if I ever step foot in those, I would actually probably have a mental breakdown by the time I get out.
You know, the last time I was at Playland, like the haunted houses there, my sister and I, like, we're not scared of it. Like, when I was little, I used to be like a little scared, but like now, like I'm just like I remember sitting there on the ride, like, is that it? Like, that's it? Like, I was like, oh wow, who didn't see that coming?
But no, there's also this like haunted house where I'm by because I live in Sleepy Hollow, like big Halloween thing. There's this walkthrough haunted house type of thing at Phillipsburg Manor. Me and my friends went there because I've already been there before. They're like, hey, you should go first because you've been here before. You've seen all the stuff before, which is true, but I hate getting scared. So I somehow ended up to the back of the line before that first real scare, and we just kind of all started freaking out the entire way through. Yeah, I'm not very good with haunted stuff.
Yeah. Wait, my mom was telling me that there's this ride at Disney World. I think it still exists. That there's this elevator ride. Where
Yeah, I was on there. It's called the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, Haunted Mansion. Like you go. I think you slowly go. You go up and then it stops. And you go up and down again. I think.
Oh wait, no, that's a different one. There's also the Haunted Mansion, which is kind of like this very like kind of like very kind of like not really that scary haunted house type of feel. There's this elevator thing that's really cool. That's like that goes onto there, but it's actually really interesting. But no, what she's talking about, I think, is the Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Now that the first time I went on, it was scary because it is literally like this thing that kind of like sneaks you through, and then it's a literal free fall.
Well, I wouldn't know, because I never been to Disney World. So
you are missing out on your childhood.
You think?
Yes, like you've never been to Disney.
No, my mom has been there so many times, like as a kid and a teen.
You need to go there. It's actually a lot of fun. Obviously, as a kid, it's like different.
It's expensive.
Then get the money.
Yeah.
And get it.
It's going to be even more expensive if they're adding that Star Wars Galaxy Edge, which is at Disneyland. Now they're adding it to Disney World.
Yeah, I think they figured they do that because obviously you do something to Disneyland, it's obviously going to happen to Disney World because everyone on the East Coast could be like, we want to do this without going to California. Yeah. So they'll put it in Florida. And everyone wants to go to Florida. Yeah. Everyone wants to go to Florida.
I was actually I think it was 2 years ago. I went to Florida with my great uncle. And I was like, "Is it possible if we go to Disney World?" And like the answer was no.
Look, here's the thing.
I tried though.
There's like 3 different big like kind of theme parks in Orlando. There's Disney World, there's Universal Studios, and then there's SeaWorld. When I think this was during my like 16th or 17th birthday or something like that. Just before I went to college, I went to all 3 of those. It was fun. Universal's a lot more fun than Disney World.
I think I might be wrong about this, but I heard that Universal is adding a Nintendo theme.
That's in Japan.
That's in Japan, not the US.
I read about that as well because when I'm on Snapchat, sometimes I subscribe to IGN and sometimes they say that stuff. I'm like, interesting. I'm just gonna scroll through everyone else's stories and whatnot, but whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Once again, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Brandon.
And we'll see you back next Monday.
Woo!